Dre all day.
Couldn't be in a better place at a better time, tuning into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you're expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, go-getter energy that moves you to make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together in one package. What you get is the mindset, the method, the philosophy, the book, the show, known as Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. There is none other. All right, just in case there's any cheap imitations running around. Now, today's topic is deciding how you are going to see yourself. Deciding who you're going to see when you look in the mirror every single day. How you see yourself determines everything about your life, in case you didn't know. Okay? Where you're from does not determine everything about your life. Who your parents were does not determine it. What you have materially, tangibly, does not determine it. Who you are around does not determine it. All those things have an effect. I'm not saying that they don't matter. They have an effect. The most important aspect of who you're going to be in life is what you see when you look in the mirror. What you see in yourself. How you see you determines everything. It has more of an effect on your life than all of those other things put together. How you walk and talk is based on how you see yourself. What you accept and what you're willing to walk away from. What you actually walk away from. With whom you associate. What you believe to be possible for your life and what you see as having yourself as having no chance for achieving in life are all based on how you see yourself. And everything else that I didn't mention in the last 30 seconds, all of those things are also determined by how you see yourself. Where you end up in life, where you go, how far you don't go, who you hang with, who you talk to, how people see you, what people think about you, what you achieve, what you do not achieve. All based on how you see yourself in life. So, that being said, I think you would agree that it's pretty damn important that you make some conscious choices about this then, right? Wouldn't that make sense? You make some conscious decisions about how you're going to see yourself since it has such an effect on how your life is going to turn out? I would think so. If you agree, then just keep listening, because many of us never make conscious choices about how we're going to see ourselves. We think this is something that just occurs by default and we're just stuck with whatever we got. This is completely incorrect. It's completely 100% false. But allow what you're going to hear today and this masterclass that I'm going to give you, allow this to open your mind to such an idea that you can control how you're going to see yourself in life, which means in turn, you can control everything that occurs in your life and everything you're going to be, do, and have in life. Are you interested in that? Good. Point number one. Today's topic, once again, is deciding how you're going to see yourself. First thing you must do, and this is the first thing that I have people do anytime that we're dealing with confidence, we're dealing with self-image, we're dealing with self-belief, what you're doing yourself, is the first thing that we do is we do not add. The first thing we do is not addition of new things. All right, start doing this, then do this, then do that. Now you got to add this thing in and add this thing in here. That's why a lot of people will try to teach you about self-image, self-belief, self-confidence. That's wrong. The first thing you need to do, if you're going to change the way that you're seeing yourself, is we got to figure out what you're going to stop doing. All right, we got to eliminate some things. You got to get rid of some things in order to add some things in. Any of you who's ever been on a weight loss program, or you ever hired a nutritionist, or you started a new workout program with a trainer and they're getting you in shape and you want to lose some weight and get your body in develop a better physique. Usually it starts out with some things that you got to stop. And usually those things that you stop are some of your bad habits when it comes to what you're putting in your body. Okay, you drink soda. Okay, just stop drinking soda. You eat after 8 o'clock at night. Okay, stop doing that. You eat candy and junk food and potato chips. Stop doing that. You buy ice cream when you go to the grocery store. Stop doing that. You just stop those things. You might lose 50% of what you're trying to lose just off that alone without doing anything else. Don't even have to go to the gym. So the first step is we got to stop things. Here's the first thing you got to stop doing to get more control over how you see yourself. Stop letting other people define who you are. I mean, if you just did this alone, this would change your life in ways that you couldn't imagine. And how am I so sure of that? Well, let's see. Look at yourself right now. Look at the way that you would describe yourself, the type of person that you are. Someone just asked you to describe yourself. You just have to write down things that describe you. Write all those things down. And once you have that whole list written down, go down that list and ask yourself, how many of those did you choose for yourself? And how many of them were foisted upon you, given to you by somebody else. Maybe it's just a reputation that you have because everybody says it about you, or everybody expects it of you, or this is just the way that you've always seen yourself because it's what your mom or your dad or your friends or your teachers always said about you, but you never actually consciously chose it. How many of them are in that category? And how many of them are in the category of, I chose this for myself and I made myself into this person? You'll be surprised to find out. And this is what happens when I do this exercise with people. 95% of what's on the list of how they describe themselves are things that they never chose for themselves. Never chose them. They were given to you. Maybe given to you in such a way and so consistently that you didn't even realize they were given to you. But when I say go down that list and tell me everything that you consciously chose to become and you've become it, sometimes people don't have any. Zero. Things that they consciously chose to define themselves with, and then they actually did the things, took the steps necessary to make that part of who they were as a person. So this step right here is a life-changing step if you could just do this. And this is something that I help you with in my book, The Mental Workbook, which you can get at workonmygame.com/workbook, or you can get it as part of the Bulletproof Mindset 2.0 package at workonmygame.com/bulletproof. Stop letting other people define you. Stop letting other people tell you who you are, what you can do, what you can't do, where you're going to go, what you're going to achieve in life. If you don't make your own decisions about who you'll be in this life, I guarantee you decisions will be made for you. And you might not like the decisions that get made for you when you neglect to make your own decisions about who you're going to be as a person. People, the reason why this happens is because people will want to categorize you and put you in a box and say, this is exactly who you are. And they want to put that category on you, put that label on you and keep you in that space, not because people are control freaks, not everybody at least, not because people want to control you and dominate you and put limits on your life. Not everybody, at least. Most people don't want to do that, but they do these things to put you in a box and categorize you. And here's the reason why they do it. Because we human beings are creatures of habit. We feel most at ease when we have the majority of things in our lives. We know what to expect from them. We know what's going to happen. Well, let's just look at the opposite side. When you feel your highest levels of anxiety are usually when you have a lot of uncertainty. You have no idea what this person or that person is going to do. You have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. You have no idea how these things are going to work out. And that gives you anxiety because you have all these uncertainties in your mind. When everything in your mind is certain, it can eventually become very boring, but it allows you to calm down and relax. All right, when you know how everything's going to go and you feel pretty secure about it, you're able to relax and be at ease. Human beings like to relax and be at ease. All right, that's our natural state. That's where we want to be. All right, that's why we like sleeping. That's why we sleep for a third of our lives. Relaxing and being at ease. And one way to relax and be at ease is if we can take every single person that we come across, categorize them, put them in a box, and those people stay in that box and do exactly what we expect of them. This is why people will categorize you and box you into a certain way of being, or at least they think they can box you into a certain way of being. You may help them out by doing exactly what they expect of you, conforming to what other people expect of you, so other people can be at ease. We put people in boxes and we are disturbed when what we expect from people is not what they do. If and when somebody jumps out of the box that we put them in, we're a little bit disturbed. We're like, wait a minute, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you were about that. I didn't know you would talk like that. I didn't know you were interested in that. I didn't know you did that thing. And that's usually not even what you hear. That's maybe what a person is thinking. But often, any of you who's ever been in this situation, think about what you actually hear. Think about a situation in your life when you were representing something, doing something, being something, having something. There's something that happened in your life that showed to another person that you weren't exactly what they thought you were. Maybe you were more than what they expected of you. Maybe they had put you into a certain box and categorized you a certain way, and then you did something to show you were absolutely not how they thought you were. They had you in a box and you jumped out of the box. They thought you were this type of person, but you showed them something that said, oh, maybe this person isn't this type of person. How do people usually react to that? You know how people usually react when you jump out of the box that they had you in mentally, even though you didn't create the box. You never agreed to be in this box, but they put you in it. And as soon as you jump out of it, usually people respond with ridicule. People respond with, they get sarcastic. Oh, you're a basketball player now. Oh, you're a podcaster now. Oh, you're an author now. Oh, okay. It's sarcasm, right? That's a form of, that's kind of like they're trying to ridicule you, but they try to do it in a safer type of way. Maybe people come out and outright attack you. Why are you doing this thing? Why don't you just stick to doing this? Why are you talking about this subject when you're good at talking about this subject? It'd be better if you just stayed with doing the thing that you're doing. Or if an athlete is talking about anything other than sports, what do people say? Stick to sports. If a politician talks about sports, they say, hey, stick to politics. If a person who's known for doing one thing talks about another thing, people are like, well, why the hell are you talking about it? Aren't you a fill in the blank? What qualifies you to talk about this thing when you should be talking about just this thing, the one thing that I know you for? Whenever you jump out of the box that people have mentally put you in, they respond in ways that are trying to socially make you feel uncomfortable with stepping out of the box that they had you in. Might not have been your box, their box, and they try to get you to jump back in that box. Here's the funny thing though. While that sounds like, damn, that's messed up what people do, right? It's messed up that people think that way. And you know what, Dre, you're absolutely right. That is what people do. While you may be thinking those things, here's the funny part about all of it. Most people knowing this or experiencing it, if they ever had to experience it firsthand, this is what most people do. They never jump out of the box. Knowing that they're going to be ridiculed, knowing that they're going to get funny looks, knowing that they may be attacked, knowing that people are going to have comments, knowing that people are going to be saying things under their breath, knowing that people may not immediately respond to them showing who they truly are. Most people stay where it's comfortable and safe, and they never jump out of the box. They stay in the box their whole damn lives. It's tragic. So the question here is, I want to give you a moment to marinate on that one. The question is, how have people boxed you in your life? Because I guarantee you there are ways, many ways, where people have boxed you in your life, meaning they have a certain perception of you. They have communicated to you what that perception is. And if you were to show anything other than what their perception is, they may show you something. They may communicate to you in a way to let you know that they are uncomfortable with you showing something other than what they thought about you. How have people done this to you? Because I guarantee there are many ways people have done it. You may not even be consciously aware of it, but that's one of the main things we do here is we're going to make you conscious of these things so you can do something about it. If you're not conscious about something, you can't do anything about it because you don't know. How have people boxed you in life? And now that you realize that you've been boxed in, what are you going to do about it? In my Bulletproof Mindset course, you can learn the confidence and the mental toughness necessary to fight against this boxing in by going to work on my game /bulletproof. Funny thing for many people is that they never leave the box because you understand you're not one of those people who's afraid to leave the box. Maybe you are, but we can get over that. That can be worked on because you know that other people who have boxed you in certain ways, you know that they are not fully correct about who you are and what you are. You know that. There are certain things that you know about you that nobody else knows about you, but you haven't let it out yet. You stayed in the box where it's comfortable so that you conform to what other people expect of you. But you have an option to get out of the box anytime that you want. And that's why today's topic is the topic. As we move on to point number 2, which is of today's topic, which is deciding how you're going to see yourself. Point number 2 is this. Once you decide what your position is, you must reinforce it. In sports, for example, a trainer or a coach has their athletes do the exact same warm-ups and the exact same drills. The coaches, any of you who plays a sport who's had a coach, they say the same sayings over and over again. They emphasize the same processes every time. Why is this? Why in sports do they have you do the same stuff over and over and over again? Well, one reason is human beings learn by repetition. One time isn't enough for anybody to make anything a habit. All right, you want to make something a habit, you want to be really good at it, you got to do it over and over again. You can't just do it one time and say, all right, I'm good. I did it one time. I ain't got to do it anymore. Everybody understands that. It'd be silly to think you could do something once and you're just going to be great at it. You got to do it over and over again until it becomes second nature, until it becomes habitual and you can do it without even thinking about it. That's one reason why you do things over and over again. Here's another reason why. When I was a senior in college, I got an internship working for this guy named Phil Sky. Now, Phil was a well-known guy in the community in Altoona, PA. His name was actually on the cafeteria on campus, which was called Port Sky Cafe. So it was one person named Port, another person named Sky. He was the Sky part of it because he had given a lot of money to the campus and things like that. And the one thing that I learned from Phil Scott, I did a whole semester internship for this guy, 9 credit hours. There's one thing that I learned from him that I still remember to this day, just one thing. And because he had all these companies, he had all these employees who worked for him. And he said, Dre, people do not do what you expect. They do what you inspect. Now, maybe you've heard that before. And I know Phil Scott did not make up that statement, but he was the first person I ever heard say it. People do not do what you inspect. People do what you inspect. They do not do what you expect. So while expectations do matter, inspection means having a system in place to make your expectations real based on following a process. What does that mean? That means you need to have a process in place in which you inspect who you are as a person and reinforce who you wish to be as an individual over and over and over again, to the point that it becomes second nature, to the point that it becomes habitual, to the point that it becomes unconscious, to the point that you are doing it so often and you are so comfortable with it that you are not uncomfortable when other people are not comfortable with it. It doesn't bother you that other people are disturbed by the fact that you are not in the box that they wanted to place you in. How do you do this then? What is this process? What is this internal process for you inspecting yourself and making sure you are the person that you actually want to be, and you are so comfortable with it that it doesn't bother you that other people are uncomfortable with it? Where is it? Well, it's in my book called The Mental Workbook. Go to workonmygame/workbook. I'm assuming the .com is understood. Workonmygame/workbook. Put the .com in there. Okay. The Mental Workbook plugs you into a system. Then it shows you how to reinforce that system. All in the Mental Workbook. It's done for you. You're going to fill in some information. The system is already there. All you got to do is plug into the system, and the system will help you reinforce who you are, who you wish to be, who you want to be, what you're going to do, what you're going to have in life based on your vision of you, not anybody else's. Point number 3. Today's topic is deciding how you are going to see yourself. Third point is you must maintain your right and your freedom to make changes to the terms and conditions as you see fit. All right, anytime that you sign up for a website or sign up for a social media platform or buy a product somewhere, and there's this little tiny box on the sign up page that says, I agree to the terms and conditions. All right, I agree to the whatever legalese, whatever way they want to say it. Most of the time we don't click on the link to actually read the terms and conditions or the privacy policy or any of that stuff. When you click on that box, you are letting them know that they could change the rules on you anytime they want to. They could delete you anytime they want to. They can change how everything works anytime they want to, and you agree that that's okay. That's basically what it says when you click on that box that says, I agree to the terms and conditions. Now, I want to let you know you need to have one of these boxes for your own life that says you maintain the right and the freedom to make changes to the terms and conditions of your life, of how you see yourself, of who you are, what you do, what you're going to have, the type of person you are. You maintain the right to change anytime you feel like it. All right, this is your little checkbox that says, I agree to the terms and conditions. The reason why companies can do this, they're basically letting you know we could change the rules on you whenever we feel like it. Why? Because we own this company. We own this product. We own this platform. We own this social media network. You don't. You're just a visitor here. So if we want to change the rules, damn it, we will. And then a damn thing you can do about it but leave. Or you can accept it and stay, or you can leave. You can not accept it and leave. Those are the only 2 options you got. When you check that little box and you click I agree, sign up, that's exactly what you're saying. That's what they're saying to you, and you're agreeing to it. And you need to have one of them yourself for your life, because you must maintain the right to change who you are and change how you see yourself anytime that you feel like it. Just because you've been a certain way all of your life, or for the last 2 years, or for the last 6 months, that does not mean you're stuck being that way or being that person forever. Just because people see you a certain way doesn't mean you have to stay that certain way just to conform to what they want. All right, because the last time I checked, the only person who's really responsible for the type of life you live is you. So if other people want you to live a certain way, but you don't want to, which one matters more? We got a whole episode on that coming soon. Trust me. Just because you've been a certain way, you are not stuck being that way. Just because people see you a certain way, just because people enjoy you being a certain way, doesn't mean you got to keep doing it. I think everyone's heard of the comedian Dave Chappelle. He recently put out a Netflix special called Sticks and Stones, which ruffled a whole lot of feathers. I found it hilarious, but a lot of people were pissed off about it. Why? He's a comedian. I don't know how people get mad about jokes, but that's the world that we're in now. We're in a skinny jeans world, and that's just how people are. But before I don't know if Netflix was even out. Yeah, I think Netflix was out. But back before the Netflix specials, Dave Chappelle was an actor in a movie, and he was an actor in movies, plural, and he had his own TV show on Comedy Central. It was called The Chappelle Show. Some of you remember The Chappelle Show. And at the height of The Chappelle Show's prominence, the height of his popularity, Dave Chappelle canceled the show, said he didn't want to do it anymore. I think he was in between contracts. He didn't cancel in the middle of a season, but he didn't want to do the show anymore. And he left and he went, I believe the story says he went to Africa. He went away to Africa for a while. We didn't hear from Dave Chappelle for a while. And Dave Chappelle has said, I haven't gone really deep into how exactly he explained why he did what he did. But he was just saying that the expectations, the pressure that people are putting on him to keep doing this was just a little bit too much for him. He already had his money. He already had plenty of success. He did not want to continue to conform to what other people wanted from him. He wanted to do what he wanted to do for himself. And a lot of people were upset. A lot of people felt like they had been robbed of a pleasure of life, the Chappelle Show. But Dave Chappelle understood that the number one person he was responsible for in life was not Comedy Central, not his agent, not his fans, but himself, Dave Chappelle. And he went away, did what he wanted to do, and he came back. Even though people might have been pissed at him, people might have been angry or sad that he dropped the show and stopped doing it when it was as popular as any show on television at that time. When Dave Chappelle came back and he showed that he was still funny, guess what happened? All those fans, all those companies, all those contracts, all those executives, what they do? They lined up at his door to give him more money. Why? Because that's the business that they're in. They're going to pay the person who's popular. They're going to pay the person who's hot. They're going to pay the person who can produce results. Dave Chappelle left at the height of his popularity, but he got it right back. Why? Because Dave Chappelle's a damn good comedian. And he didn't have to conform to what they wanted. They had to conform to what he wanted. And that's not about a certain level of talent or skill, ladies and gentlemen. That's a mindset. That's a way of being. That's a way of approaching life. That's a way of approaching the world. This is a measure of confidence, being able to do what Dave did. Refusing to conform to what everyone else wants from you and doing what you want from you. How often have you done it? And how often have you made the mistake of going the opposite direction? And as I said, I got a whole episode coming on that subject in particular very soon. So make sure you are subscribed to the show if you're not. And if you are not a member of the gang group, that means you're not getting the full episodes. But if you're listening to this, that means you probably are a member of the gang group. So let's recap today's topic, which is deciding how you're going to see yourself. How you see you determines everything about your life. How you walk, talk, what you accept, what you walk away from, who you associate with, what you believe to be possible for your life, what you see as having no chance for, and everything else. So it's very important that you make conscious choices about this because many people never do. Point number one, stop allowing other people to define you. If you don't make decisions about who you'll be in this life, decisions will be made for you and you might not like those decisions. People will want to categorize you and put you in a box, not because they want to control you, but because we like to know what to expect from other people. We like to be at ease knowing exactly what we're going to get from another person, not having all these question marks, not having all this anxiety about being uncertain about how a person is going to be. Because people are surely not fully correct as to who you are as a person when they're putting you in a box. So you need to create your own box or just destroy the box, jump out of the box whenever you feel like. And if other people are uncomfortable with that, so what? We talked about that a few episodes ago. People are uncomfortable or they disagree or they're offended by whatever you're representing. That is their problem. It is not your problem. Point number two, reinforce your position. In sports, a trainer or a coach has the players do the same warm-ups and drills, same sayings, emphasize the same processes all the time because we learn by repetition. Another reason is people do what is inspected, not what is expected. You tell someone you expect them to do something, they might do it, they might not. If you tell somebody that you're going to inspect everything they did, I guarantee you they'll do it if they want to keep their job because they know you're going to look at it. So while expectations do matter, inspection means having a system in place that guarantees that the expectations get met. The system that we do for the mindset, for the mental game that allows you to be who you want to be in life, not what other people want you to be, and reinforces it on a daily basis to make it real and 100% you. We call that the mental workbook, which you can get at workonmygame/workbook. Point number three, Maintain your right and freedom to make changes to the terms and conditions as you see fit. This is what they have on every website when you sign up. That little box that says, I agree to the terms and conditions. They're basically letting you know we can change the rules whenever we feel like it because we own this. And you can either agree to the fact that we change the rules or you can leave. All right, those are your two options because we run this here. All right, you're a visitor. It's the same thing that you need to let people know through your energy in your life that they are visitors in your life. They do not own it. You own it. They don't call the shots. You call the shots. So you have the right to change the terms and conditions of who you are and how you're going to represent yourself whenever you feel like it. And if people have a problem with it, that is their problem. They can either accept it or they can leave. Why? Because you own it. You run the show there. This is a measure of confidence. It's not about your talent. It's not about your resources. It's not about who you know. It's a measure of how strong you feel about yourself, who you are and what you represent and who you want to be in life. And if you want to change it whenever you feel like it, this is all about your internal feelings about yourself, refusing to conform to what everyone else wants from you. Work on your game. Dre all day.
Hey, this is Dre all day. If you enjoy this mental game stuff that I talk about on video every day, then I put together a simple master class that will give you one key tip for developing what I call the bulletproof mindset. All you need to do is go to workonmygame.com/bulletproof. Is the link right here and it's down below in the video descriptions. Just click on it, take you right to the page. I'm going to give you that video. It's about 20 minutes long. This masterclass I put together. One key tip for developing a bulletproof mindset. And when you get that special masterclass free video, I'm also going to make you a special offer to get the full bulletproof mindset experience. So just go to that link that you see right here, and I'm going to show you how to develop that bulletproof mindset right now. So if you like this video that you just watched, I'm going to show you how to take it to the highest possible level. You ready for that? Let's do it.